Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to learn about the functions in the C programming language. So before going to the concept here, so how we are going to implement the functions in our real life also. Okay, so knowingly or unknowingly, so we have to depend on many persons in our life to do certain tasks, right? So if to clean the dishes or to clean your room, so we will depend on the maid, right? Similarly, to service your motorbike, you will depend on the mechanic, right? Similarly, if you want to purchase the groceries, okay, so you are depending on the online shopping, right? So like this, you have to depend on, so in certain situations, you are depending on some other persons, okay. So similarly for the computer program also, so in certain situations, it will depend on the other other entities, that is called as functions. Okay, a computer program also cannot handle all the tasks by itself, so it will request the other program like entities called functions in the C language to get its tasks to be done. Okay, so here in this video we are going to learn about the uh, all the features of the functions. So in here we are going to learn the basic features of the functions in this video, like what is the functions, why do we need the function, and what are the advantages of the function, what is the structure of the function. So like this we are going to know about the basic of the functions in this video. Okay, so here suppose you are having a task, right? That let us suppose you want to give the motorbike to a to service. Okay, so you want to service your motorbike, then you don't need to give instructions to the mechanic, because the mechanic knows his job, and you don't need to be told how the job must be done. Okay, simply you have to uh, give the motorbike to your mechanic to service that particular bike. Okay, so similarly here, a C function, a simple C function that operates in much the same way as a mechanic. Okay, the C function will be having its set of statements, set of instructions to be implemented on the particular program. So we don't need to give any particular instructions um, to the program every time. So it will be having that inbuilt functions, inbuilt statements. Suppose I want to print the statement, or I want to take the input from the user. Okay, so then for that we're having the printf and scanf functions, right? So whenever I am using the printf and scanf functions in the program, so I'm not I'm not defining the functions each and every time I'm using this printf and scanf functions in my program. So there is no need of writing the library functions of that particular printf and scanf in the program. So it is already included in the, so instead of writing all the instructions about the printf and scanf, I am including the library functions of the printf and scanf in the format of stdio.h, that is standard input output.h. So instead of writing all the instructions of the particular printf and scanf function, I am including the stdio.h header file, okay, in the include directive. Similarly, if you want to perform the mathematical calculations like trigonometric calculations or power square root calculations, then I am simply including the header file called math.h. Okay, so in this math.h header file, we are having the multiple number of library functions. Okay, so multiple number of library functions regarding the mathematical operations. So similarly, in this stdio.h, I am having the library functions regarding the input output operations, right? So writing the um, instead of writing the about the printf and scanf here each and every time, I am simply including the header file in the program. So here this is reducing the uh, so it is reducing the rewriting of the code each and every time, right? So this is the basic function of the C language. Okay, so here a function is defined as a segment that contains a group of statements to perform a specific task. Okay, so a function is a segment that consists of a group of statements to be executed here. Okay, and if you are going to execute this group of statements, it is going to perform a certain task. Okay, so if you are going to execute these statements, it will perform a task. Okay, the function is also known as procedure or subroutine in the other programming languages. Okay, a function can be called any number of times in the program, so there is no restriction on calling the particular function in the program. So the main concept of the functions is the modularity. Okay, so functions of C language provide the modularity to the large program. Suppose a bigger project is assigned to a project team, then that project will be divided into smaller functions, into many smaller modules, and the functions can be distributed among the project members to implement and finally combine to a bigger project, right? So instead of working on the whole project, so the team leader will divide the particular project into multiple modules, and these multiple modules will be assigned to all the team members. Okay, so after the work is done, so all the modules will be finally combined to a bigger project. Okay, so because of dividing the big project into small modules, okay, so we can do the work easily. Okay, so it will be easy to work on the project, and it will be easy to manage and understand about the project. Okay, so here this is also one of the basic feature of the functions. So it will reduce the complexity of the program development if you are using the modules. So given here, so we're going to divide the main function into multiple number of modules, like function 1, function 2, and function 3. Okay, so we're going to divide the particular function into multiple number of functions, and after the work is done, it will be combined to the main function. So this is the main property of the functions, that is the modularity. So next, coming to the structure of the functions. So we know that the function is nothing but a set of statements that perform a particular task. Our function is a self-contained block of statements that will perform a task of some kind. So here this is the function name, and so you can pass some arguments in the function that we will discuss later. Okay, and here these are the given number of statements to be executed if the function is called. Okay, so this is the structure of the functions, and this is a simple example of the functions. So int sum, int x comma y. So we are going to perform the sum of the two numbers, that is the parameters x and y. Okay, so sum is a function here. So sum is the function. Okay, so this is the definition part of the function. Okay, so here, so int result, so we are defining the variable result. So result equals to x plus y. So we are adding the two. So the function is getting the result as the output here. Okay, so return result. So the result will be returned to the main function. Okay, so here it is going to return the sum of the two numbers. Okay, so normally the functions will act as a black box. So black box means it will be opaque. Black box is opaque, and we don't know what will be done in the black box. Okay, suppose here a box is there, and we are giving certain input here to the black box. Okay, so to the black box we are giving certain input. Then some processing will be done internally in the black box, which is, so here the black box is opaque and we cannot see what is done in the black box. Okay, so after the certain operations are done in the black box, then it will result the output. So functions will work similar to the black box here. So here for the function we are giving the input x and y as a variable, and we want to perform the task. Okay, if you are going to execute this set of statements, we will get the result as the sum of the two variables, right? So we are giving the input as x and y to the black box. So after that one, the sum of two variables will be done internally in the black box using certain inbuilt functions and user defined functions. After that one, it will produce the output, that is the sum of x and y. Okay, so like this the functions will work as a black box. Okay, and function is a one of the derived data type. So we know that we have two types of data types, right? Primary and derived. So function is a derived data type. Okay, so int, char, float, double, so these are the primary data types, and functions, arrays are derived data types. Okay. So this is the how the multifunction program will work. So here in the main function, so we are having the multiple number of functions defined. Okay, and when the control passes, when the particular function is called, then the control will pass to the particular function. Okay, so here given in the multifunction program of a program, so we know that a function is a self-contained block of code that performs a particular task. Okay, so in the main function, so we are declaring the, so we are calling the function 1 2 1, like that we are calling the different functions here. Okay, suppose here the function 1 is called, then the control will automatically pass to the function 1 definition, and the statements in the function 1 will be executed. Okay, so after that execution of the function 1, the control will pass to the function 1 again. It will go back to the function onto the calling position. Okay, so whenever a function is called here, the control of the main will be terminated here, and the control will go to the function 1. Okay, so here the main function will go to sleep, and the function 1 will get activated here, and the function 1 statements will be executed. So after that execution of the function 1, it will return some value. So that result, that returned value is given as the output to the function 1. Okay, so similarly here, if the function 2 is called, then the control will automatically pass to the function 2. Okay, and the main function will go to sleep. Okay, so after the function 2 gets executed here, then the control will go to the, so here in the function 2 we are having the function 3 also, so we are calling the function 3. So then the control will pass to the function 3, and the statements will executed in the function 3. So after that one, the function 3 will return a value to the function 2 here. Okay, so that value will be processed, and the function 2 will return the value to the calling function. Okay, so after returning the value to the calling function, the main function will woke up. Okay, the main function will woke up after the value is written to the function. So like this, the control will pass to the particular function definition. Okay, so the calling function will call the function definition, and then it will return a value to the calling function. And functions are of two types. They are having the two types of functions, that is the built-in functions and user-defined functions. So we have seen that. So we are having the stdio.h, mat.h, coname.h. So these are the different types of header files we are having. Okay, and these are the built-in functions. Okay, so in the built-in library functions, so the library functions are already written in the particular header files. Okay, so these are already written in the compiler. Okay, but whereas the user defined functions are defined by the users, and these user defined functions can later become the part of the C program library. So these user defined functions also can be used in the other programs. Okay, so now we are going to see the different types of user defined, how we will use the user defined functions in the C language. So next, need of a function. What is the main need of the function. Okay, so whenever a task is done using using a program, so we may have to reuse some code. Okay, so reuse some code many times. Okay, so instead of reusing the code, rewriting the code many times in the program, so we are going to reduce the rewriting of the code in the program, right? So if you are rewriting the code many times in the program, then it will increase the length of the program. So to avoid this, so we can name the set of statements that must be repeated and use that name whenever the statements are to be repeated. Okay, so for that purpose we are having the different needs of the function. So reduce the redundancy of the code, increase the readability and understandability of the code, reduce the length of the code, and expand the C language by adding user-defined functions. Okay, so first one is the reduce the redundancy of the code. Okay, so instead of rewriting the code many times, so we are going to name a particular function name, and under that function name we are going to define some certain statements which are to be repeated. Okay, so whenever we need that particular function, so we are going to call that function. Okay, so that reduces the redundancy of the code. Next one is the increase the readability and understandability of the code. So if you are using the function, suppose I am writing a program for calculating the area of a rectangle here. Okay, so I'm using the calculating the area of a rectangle, and for calculating the area here, so many times I had to write the code for calculating the area of the rectangle. So instead of writing the code many times in the program, so I'm using a function called area here. Okay, so I'm using a function called area. So in this I'm going to define certain statements for performing the area of the rectangle. Okay, so this some code will be given. So whenever I need this function, then simply I will call this function in the program. Okay, so that it is going to reduce the redundancy of the code. Similarly, it is going to increase the readability and understandability of the code, and it will reduce the length of the code, right? So instead of rewriting the same code many times, so we are going to reduce the length of the code. And similarly, it will expand the C language by adding the user-defined functions. So we know that we are having already built-in functions in the C language. So if you are writing some user-defined functions, it will become the part of the C program library. Okay, so the user-defined functions can become part of the C program library. So like that, we can expand the C language by adding the user-defined functions. So next, advantages of the user-defined functions. So here we are having the different types of advantages of the user-defined functions. It helps to decompose large programs to small segments, right? So because of the property modularity, so we are going to divide the large project into multiple number of modules, and the team members can work on the multiple number of modules. Okay, so after the task is done, we are going to merge all the small modules into the large program. Okay, and it is easy to understand, maintain, and debug. Okay, so it will be easier to understand because the program will be in a structured format. Okay, so we are having the calling function separately, and whenever we need, we can call the functions in the program, and it will be easy to understand, maintain, and debug also. Okay, so if you want to test the program, it will be easier to debug since the length of the code is becoming less, right? So here the length of the code is becoming less. So whenever we use that we need that function, so we are simply calling that function. So if there is a error in the function, then we will go to that function and we will debug the error, right? So it will reduce the chance of making errors also. And reusability, so we can reuse the same code many times. Okay, suppose I'm using the math.h header file, which is a built-in function, right? Okay, so we are having the math.h function. So instead of rewriting the code many times, we are going to simply access that header file here, which is a built-in function. Similarly here for the user-defined functions, so I'm having the function, we already told that area function. Okay, so in the area function we will be having the set of statements to perform the area of the rectangle. Okay, so we can so in the program or in other programs, if you want to perform the area of the rectangle, then you can simply use this function, so which increases the reusability. Okay, instead of writing this code many times, we can reuse the same code, and provides the modularity to the larger programs that we have discussed here. Okay, so these are the different advantages.